Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is doing okay. So today we're going to be frying some puff puff. In Ghana we call it Bofrot. And I'm going to be serving this with rice pudding on the side. So if you like to see how I cooked or fried my puff puff, please stay tuned. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much for the love and the support. So let's begin cooking. Our ingredients are dried yeast. I'm going to be using 2 sachets of 7 grams each, some sugar, nutmeg, salt, baking powder, self-raising flour, and water. So to begin, we are going to mix the dried yeast with some warm water. Some people like to use milk to mix the dried yeast, but I prefer to use warm water. It's a lot easier for me. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm not very good with measurements. I just use my eyes to measure, basically. That's how I was taught. So that's what I'm doing. I've just added the water. I've stirred it over, and I'm going to cover it up with some aluminum foil. You can use a plate or whatever lid you have, but it needs to be a tight lid with no air going through. So now that it's all covered, I'm going to leave this to sit for about 40 minutes. So 40 minutes later, the yeast has risen a little bit, and I'm going to use half a kilo of this flour. I'm adding the dry ingredients at this point, first of all. So once all the dry ingredients have gone through, I am going to mix it up, and then I am going to start adding the water and the yeast that was sitting earlier. So I'm going for a medium to thick consistency. I don't want it runny. So please watch what I'm doing here. I am going to be mixing it thoroughly to make sure there are no lumps. So yeah, I'm going to keep mixing and mixing and mixing. Then at some point I'm going to be beating it. Yep, I'm going to be beating it to make sure that all the lumps are dissolved. You do not want to have any lumps in your dough, trust me. So I'm going to keep beating and mixing until it's all nice and smooth. And after that, I'm going to cover it up and leave to sit overnight. So at this point, I am going to cover with a cling film first of all. And I will go over the cling film with a clean kitchen towel. And I did this in the night. It was around 12 p.m. so 12 a.m. So I left it to sit overnight. If you're doing it in the day, you can leave it to sit for about 2 hours to rise. And about 10 hours later, I mean, look at this. My goodness, it's risen, to twice the size it was last night. It's beautiful. Look at all the air bubbles. So right now my oil is very, very hot, and to test it I had to put a little bit of the dough inside to see whether it's actually hot or not. You don't want to use your hand to test it because you're going to burn yourself. So yes, now let's start frying. So this is the technique I use to get the dough into the oil. If you have any other technique you can use it, but this is how I do mine. So now I am going to distribute the flour into the oil like so, and I'm going to keep doing this until the entire pan is covered with the dough. So just like I'm doing right now. And some of them will turn automatically by themselves. Some of them too, you need to turn it yourself. So you need to do it a bit faster, because if not, by the time you're done distributing, some of them are going to be burning already. So yeah, I had to actually stop and then turn them, because if you don't, some of them are gonna burn on the other side, and you don't want that. Also, you don't want one side to be darker than the other side. You want it to be evenly golden brown. And you're not going to fry this for too long. I think I fried it for about 3 minutes or even less, because if you leave it in for too long, it's going to burn. And at this point, you have to also make sure that your heat is on a medium to low heat, because if it's on a high heat, trust me, the outside is going to cook. It's going to appear like it's cooked, but the inside is not going to cook through. So you need to make sure that your heat is on a low heat. And you need to keep turning. It's important that you keep turning, because if not, some of them will not turn by themselves and it's going to burn on one side. So as you can see, I am turning it. You need to keep turning until both sides are nice and golden brown. So they are ready to come out of the oil. And guys, oh my god, have a look. It's cooked throughout. You know, when I was learning how to cook this, sometimes you cook it, by the time you break it, the inside is still good dough, and you don't want that. So that's my my rice pudding is almost cooked. We added a bit of water to make sure that it's not too thick. You don't want it to be too thick. Just, you know, that's just the consistency I like it. Not too thick and not too runny either. So I've got my milk. I like my rice pudding to be nice and creamy. So I am adding my milk as well as sugar. It's already got sugar in it. So that is it. Thank you so much for sticking through. And thank you for watching my videos. I hope to bring you more delicious recipes. Thank you guys. Have a nice